Have you ever wondered how one failed exam candidate convinced literally millions of people in 19th century China that he was the literal younger brother of Jesus Christ, and almost toppled an empire with that claim? By the time this story is over, somewhere between 20 and 70 million people will be dead. This is the Taiping Rebellion, the bloodiest civil war in human history that almost nobody outside of China has heard of. And today, we're not just talking about the battles. We're decoding the secret weapon that made the whole thing possible, a complete linguistic and theological hijack so clever it turned peasants into fanatical holy warriors. Buckle up. This is the story of how one man rewrote the dictionary and nearly rewrote China. Hey everyone, welcome back to Edgeverse, or welcome if you're new here. Today, we're diving deep into one of the wildest chapters in religious history. Smash the like button if you love forgotten megawars, and let's jump in. Picture this: 1837, southern China. A 23-year-old guy named Hong Xiuquan has just failed the Imperial Civil Service exams for the fourth time. He collapses, falls into a 40-day coma, and wakes up claiming he took a trip to heaven. In the vision, he meets a golden-bearded man in a black dragon robe, the Heavenly Father, who hands him a sword and says, "Your job is to go back to Earth and kill demons." And oh yeah, the guy also tells Hong, "By the way, you're my second son. Jesus is your older brother." Yeah, that happened. Now most of us would probably keep that story quiet. Hong, he decides this is his job resume. Fast forward a few years. Hong links up with his organizer genius buddy Feng and Shan, and together they found the God Worshippers Society. By 1850, they've got 10 to 30,000 hardcore followers in Guangxi province, poor farmers, coal miners, oppressed Hakka people, all ready to die for the younger brother of Jesus. Here's the part historians usually skip over, and it's honestly the most fascinating. How do you convince regular Chinese peasants who have never seen a church that a local guy is divine royalty? Answer: you don't import Western Christianity. You hack the Chinese language itself. The Taiping didn't just preach a new religion. They performed a full semantic takeover of ancient Chinese words. Let me give you the best examples. These are mind-blowing. 1. The word Shangdi in ancient China. Shangdi was the old high god from the Shang dynasty, way before Confucius. Confucius basically sidelined him and put rituals and ethics in the center. Hong says, actually, Shangdi was always the Christian god. Confucius just messed everything up. Boom, Christianity is now the original Chinese religion. 2. Tianwang, heavenly king in classical texts that just meant a king blessed by heaven. Hong takes the title on his 37th birthday in 1851 and says, no, it means literal divine prince, blood related to God. The Qing emperor? Just a fake son of heaven. Hong is the upgrade. 3. Taiping Tianghua, the heavenly kingdom of great peace, sounds super traditional, right? But in Taiping mouths it means the final eschatological kingdom where Jesus' little brother rules forever. Same words, totally different universe. They literally kept the packaging but swapped the software. Hong didn't like the normal missionary Bibles because they didn't have enough him in them. So starting in 1847, he sits down and writes his own authorized version. He adds entire passages where God personally complains about the Qing dynasty, calls the Manchus demon devils, and says Hong is sent to finish what Jesus started. This is not subtle editing. This is divine DLC. And because almost no followers could read classical Chinese fluently, the Taiping rewrote children's textbooks too. They took the famous three-character classic, every Chinese kid memorized this thing, and turned it into Taiping propaganda. Original line: men at birth are naturally good. Taiping version: the Heavenly Father created men to worship him alone. Demons led them astray. Every kid in Taiping territory is now reciting holy war nursery rhymes. The deeper you got into the movement, the weirder the vocabulary became. Jesus equals heavenly elder brother, Hong equals heavenly king, or sometimes just lord of the second generation, Qing soldiers equals demons or snake devils, Confucius, Buddha, Taoist immortals equals all demons. When you spoke normal Chinese, you were accidentally worshipping demons. When you used Taiping lingo, you were proving you were saved. This created insane group cohesion. Speaking the new language was the conversion. It worked like a cult password system, but for an army of 2 million. Here's why the Qing dynasty freaked out. In traditional China, the emperor was the cosmic pivot, the only legitimate link between heaven and earth. Han's language completely erased that. He said, "There is a higher family register in heaven, and I'm on it." The emperor? Not even close. And because he used ancient prestigious words, a lot of people thought, wait, maybe he's actually restoring the real old China. That mix of revolutionary and super conservative rhetoric? That's ideological napalm. By 1853, the Taiping captured Nanjing, rename it the Heavenly Capital, and set up a full parallel state, land redistribution banning foot-binding women's armies, total prohibition of opium, gambling, prostitution. And every single reform is announced as the Heavenly Father commanded this through the Heavenly King. You're not obeying a warlord. You're obeying physics, because the universe now works this way. The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom lasts 14 years, eventually crushed in 1864 after apocalyptic sieges. Hong dies, probably suicide, and the movement collapses. But the linguistic trick they invented? That lives on. Every revolutionary movement since has used the same playbook. Take the most sacred words of the old system, empty them, and refill them with your new meaning. Mao will do it. ISIS will do it. Countless others. The Taiping showed that if you control the dictionary, you can make millions believe the world has already ended and that you're the guy with the new rulebook. So next time someone tells you words don't matter, remember 20 to 70 million ghosts who would beg to differ. All right, that's the story of the deadliest linguistic coup in history. What do you think? Was Hong Xiuquan a visionary, a con man, or something scarier in between? Drop your take in the comments. Fast ones get pinned. If you want more insane deep dives into forgotten history and the weird psychology of belief, hit subscribe, ring the bell, the whole deal. I'm already working on the next one, hint. It involves a cargo cult, a machine gun prophet, and World War II. See you soon. Stay curious, and maybe double check who your little brother claims to be.